From the Newschannel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper, this is Out and About Today. Sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Good evening and welcome to Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. We've got another dynamic show for you tonight. Up next in the Entertainment Outlook, Chuck will preview Greg Howard's book, Social Intercourse. And later in the show, Brent gets the details on a special project from APSU Professor Emeritus of Communications, Ted Jones. But first, we always open our show with our Buzz About discussion. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Brent and Chuck. And of course, we have Zach with us.
Hi.
And we're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
And we're going to start this discussion. We're keeping it all happy. I'm so tired of Brent and Chuck's downer topics.
Yeah, she's the pot stirrer.
I got to keep it happy. We're going to start with Nashville Pride. They recently announced the entertainment lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all noticed.
I did.
We did.
Nice video and everything.
We're very excited. So Wilson Phillips, JoJo, Shelley Wright, a social activist, and of course, country music singer, came out. How many years ago was that, Chuck?
Probably 3 years.
At least 3 or 4. Yeah, something like that.
Steve
Yeah.
Grand. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
first, let's
he's a
start
cute
with.
boy.
Well, we've got a bunch of entertainment guys here, but Chuck, let's start with you. What did you think of the lineup?
I love the lineup. I mean, we were talking about before we came on Wilson Phillips.
Yes.
I think they will be such a huge draw, which is really cool. You know, once they get up there, I think you will just see a huge crowd. And then also, I just got to say, Steve Grant. I mean, the more I listen to his music, I mean, you don't just look at the kid. I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
Right.
But you do look at him too.
Right. You don't just, but you do. Are you excited, Zach?
JoJo!
JoJo!
I hosted her show one time at Wild Horse on 2nd Avenue, and she's like the sweetest human on the entire planet. So
Excellent.
I'm like, oh.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah.
And Brent, you're just like, eh.
No, I'm excited. You know, Wilson Phillips is there for me. As soon as it came out, I still got hold on for one more day, like playing through my head. I had to go and watch the video where they're rolling around on the beach. I love it. I'm so excited they're gonna be there. And I think you're right. I think last year, who was the throwback artist last year? It was
TLC.
TLC, yeah. And so I mean, I think that people just feel nostalgia. They feel comforted by it. So it's cool to see them.
Yeah, and I do want to mention that next month we're going to do, we'll only run
full
lineup, full coverage of Pride. It'll run every weekend. But I did want to tease
Shelley
that.
Wright, though. I mean, I'm so glad that she's finally at Pride.
Yes,
Nashville.
I mean, at Nashville Pride especially, yes.
Right, yeah, me too. Okay, so continuing on with our happy feel-good stories, headlines. High school sweethearts go to prom together. We've got a picture of these two little sweet guys.
Oh my gosh.
A swimmer and football player.
What more do you need?
And it's interesting, one of the young men, he came out, and then, of course, the Westboro Baptist Church turned up to protest them. And so, I mean, I know.
I'm about to go crazy on Westboro Baptist Church. I'm about to show up at their door and act like their mother.
Why don't you? Get it on video and we'll show it.
Yes. Well, remember they built the Pride House across the street from him? Remember that story? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what you got to do.
But it's such a tender story. I mean, we were saying earlier, could you imagine like going to prom and seeing that? I mean, it's so sort of stereotypical too. I mean, it's two young men. They're both athletic. They're both there together. Everybody's happy. It warmed my heart.
But I also noticed, to be the downer, on some of their tweets. But this was actually a good thing. But they were saying no matter how much hate is sent to us and protested against us and that sort of thing, we don't care because we're happy and we're going to prom and we're in love. And I'm like,
see, that's the thing right there. That's like it's that internal lack of like guilt and suppression that I think is wonderful for them to have. Because I couldn't have imagined being that brave in high school.
Gosh, no.
I know, and that's what when I read some of the comments, these are some of them. This was my teen gay boy dream. I'm so excited to see it realized for them. Would have loved to be able to date in high school.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I am like pretty recently out of high school, and I couldn't even like take a boy to prom in high school. So I think it's like really encouraging to see somebody that young to be that brave and be like, look, here I am, world, and I love my
Where did you go to high school?
Mount Juliet.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and in some of the pictures too on their Instagram feed, it was neat to see. Clearly, they've been dating for a while. They'd traveled together. So I mean, everybody kind of already knew them as a couple. So it almost seemed just normal.
Yeah.
Again, there's that word that they would go together.
And I just want to do a shout out to our viewers since we are in prom season. If we've got some gay couples that went to prom here locally, we want to hear their stories. Find us on social, and maybe you come on this show and tell us. I love it.
That would be
maybe
awesome.
a whole show on prom dates.
Do we have to get outfits? Can I wear a tuxedo?
We can. We can do whatever we
want. You guys like to dress up.
So now this is a perfect lead into the Miss America 2005, who got gay married in Alabama.
Oh my God.
I mean, think about it.
Beauty
and she went to
queens.
a Baptist university, and the whole university apparently just loves her, Deidre Downs. But now, of course, they're waiting for the Southern Baptist Convention to weigh in. But who cares what they say?
Right. Well, I just wondered, do you guys have any comments on both these stories? We talked last week in Brent's Buzz about normalcy in that movie Love, Simon. That, you know, is everybody so happy? Because I hate to say it, but these are normal looking, they look like
They're
everybody.
very attractive looking.
They're literally beauty
ladies.
queens.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
there you
Well,
go.
there I missed that, I guess.
I
I mean, she's gorgeous. I mean, she is.
I think that it would be different if there were like a female couple getting married in Alabama, that there would not be nearly as much support if they weren't like literally Miss America.
Right.
Like, and that to me is a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, it's cool that they get to be like, this is our sense of normalcy. And so hopefully it'll like advocate for other lesbian couples in Alabama to be like, look, we're gay too.
Inspire those folks who aren't lucky enough to have been a beauty queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
And I also think, though, too, with the Miss America, it seems to get so stereotyped as one way.
Yeah.
Well, this way, it kind of breaks that mold. It's like, you know what? You can be a Miss America, and you can also be a lesbian.
I know, it's
Wastefully.
it's only good and only awesome. And Miss America ended up, the organization, tweeting congratulations.
Yeah.
To me,
Well, they should, because it's run by Hello Family.
but so
But
is Hollywood, but then nobody's out.
Exactly, you're right. Yeah.
Gosh, it makes me mad. So we only have less than a minute, of course, but I want to talk about Joy Reid, who's been stripped, or she was never awarded her PFLAG
Rescinded,
Award, Equality in Media Award. Should that have happened? I mean, we're going to close on this. So.
I don't know that they should have stripped her from the award. It was 10 years ago. I still think she does a lot of good. We are all entitled to something now and again.
I
mean, we've messed up.
some terrible
And I don't think
things.
the comments were that offensive. I mean, come on.
I don't really either. And I think, but the organization that took it back, I think they almost just kind of said, well, now with this, we've got to investigate it, so we're just going to take it back. So I'm like,
Fair point.
Maybe we'll talk about this again. Thanks, guys. We're already out of time. So the Entertainment Outlook is next. Chuck will take a look at Greg Howard's book, Social Intercourse. Stay with us.